Hello and welcome to another Pioneer video. I'm Tandy, and today we're going to be playing a little bit of 5-color elemental nonsense, right? We're kind of elementals because we're doing Risen Reef stuff, but we're also just this big mid-range, large creature deck playing things like Omnath, Locus of Creation, and Elesh Norn, Mother of Machines to get a lot of enters the battlefield effects. But we're leveraging the card advantage from Risen Reef to give us that really big late game push. And so, incidentally, a lot of our other creatures are also elementals. We're playing Skyclave Apparition as our interactive piece. Not an elemental, but still good. Works nicely with Elesh Norn to exile two things. Voice Resurgence, great protective element, good against, counter spells, removal, things like that. The extra body, always helpful. Also, the extra ability in elemental, so it can trigger Risen Reef again. The new one that's interesting, one I haven't even seen before today, honestly, is Blanchwood Prowler. This 2-mana elemental. When it enters the battlefield, you mill 3, and then you may put a land card from among the milled cards into your hand, and if you don't, it gets a +1/+1 counter. So, kind of like a little guy that helps find a land. It's an elemental, so it triggers Risen Reef. Mostly, it's good at helping you find mountains for Chain to the Rocks. We could play Satyr Wayfinder, but I like the Blanchwood Prowler. Works nicely with Risen Reef. We're playing 3 copies of Eldritch Evolution. We can sack any of our 3 drops to go get Elesh Norn. We can also sack an Elesh Norn to go get a Traxa if the situation calls for it. We're playing a couple of weirdos that we can tutor for with the Eldritch Evolution. We got one Scampering Scorcher. This makes 2 elementals, and then all your elementals have haste. It's really nice to trigger your Risen Reef 3 times. A Hostage Taker, which can exile an opposing thing, and then we can cast it. We also have one Charming Prince we can tutor for, since Eldritch Evolution is X or less, so you can always go get Charming Prince to blink whatever's in play if it's powerful, and you can just sack a 2-drop to go get it. It's not like Neoform. Neoform is exactly +1. And then Prosperous Innkeeper is kind of the card holding everything together. This 2-drop gives us a bunch of extra life, helps color fix, ramps us. Just a great card is Prosperous Innkeeper, especially for this deck. The mana base is very mountain heavy. We're playing Fabled Passage for Omnath, but we have Jetmir, Rogren, Savai, Triomes as extra mountains, as well as Sacred Foundry and a couple other red duels. We have one of each basic at least for the Fabled Passages. Yo, T-Spain says almost 4 years. Owen Wilson, wow. Thanks, Taylor, for the 46 months. Appreciate you, fam. Okay, so that's basically the gist of the deck. The sideboard, we're an 80 card deck, so we're going to see a lot of 4s in the board. We got 4 Mystical Dispute to protect us against opposing counterspells. A Masker Girl, which we can tutor for, which will wipe the board against a deck full of tiny things. A bunch of Aven Mind Sensors to essentially lock our opponent out of tutoring. A couple Hallowed Moonlights. This will be good against things like Creativity. It's also good against Neoform, too. 2 Archon of Emiri. This is going to be good against spell spam, like, is it Phoenix? A couple Dinnick, Pious Apprentice. This is going to be a way to prevent something like Greasefang from going off on the front side. On the back side, it's just extra value. It's not really like much of anything, but the front side just prevents a lot of graveyard shenanigans, which I like. And then we are Yorion deck, we're 80 cards. So this is 5-color Mommymentals. All right, we're here for the first game with our 5-color deck. We don't have green, so I think we got a mulligan. We do have Chain to the Rocks and Leyline Binding, and if we draw a green source for this, it could be okay, but I think I'm just going to mulligan. The old one-lander. Gotta mull this one too, unfortunate. Alright, well this is easily the best card we've had, or best hand we've had so far. We gotta put 2 back. I'll put back Scootstorm and a Skyclave. Scootstorm seems like a late game card. We need to have a couple things that can interact early, so we'll just go Triland, Skyclave on 3. Nintendo Champ, it's green only though. So it's not that guy's Tangled Florahedron is the one you're thinking of. Razor Verge Thicket. Alright, so it's Angels. So we can't quite go for Leyline Binding here. We're short of the swamp. Splendid Angel's okay. Not quite enough to trigger this. They need to gain one more. All right, so let's go Skyclave, and I don't know what I want to target necessarily. So I think the bishop is actually the more annoying of the two. Like the Resplendent Angel can pop off, but it's not the enabler. The bishop is the enabler. Often extremely annoying. I could have gone Roggen and Temple, or yeah, Temple Garden to Binding on 2. That's true. I probably should have since I drew the other Temple Garden. All right, no Coco. 3 cards in hand. Should I attack? Should I play around another Iganjo? I guess they just have the Kalas. I am going to evolution into Mommy. That way we can prevent all their ETBs. They get a 2/2, but I think that's fine. I guess we could also Omnath, but I think I'm just gonna Mommy. Mommy? And now all of our stuff does double duty, which is nice. So even if we Kalas, they have no ETBs. This suppresses all the triggers. So I don't think they're gonna be able to win anymore, but we'll see. What's up, Raph? How you doing today, buddy? Here's a Kayla's. Again, this is not gonna do a ton because none of their stuff has ETBs. So we're doing pretty good. Elish Norn is very, very strong against decks like this. Alright, so now we can attack pretty much unfettered, but I still kind of want to go pre-combat Skyclave, and we can hit 2 things. And then we can Temple Guard and then hold up Leyline Binding and then double Binding. I wonder if they get 2 things or if they get a 5/5. They get a 5/5? Nice. I will take the 2 from this, and then we'll Binding EOT and get whatever they play plus the Giada. Or whatever seems right to get. Okay, so maybe they have Coco, so we'll still hold up Binding, just in case things get scary. We'll attack with just Mommy. If they go for a big gang block, the Leyline Binding should crush them. Alright, we can buy Yorian, play Breeding Pool tapped. Still have Binding up, and we can cycle the Spars later, maybe. Alright, let's see what they hit. We may want a Binding now, before they get to untap. Alright, Valkyrie and Angel. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get both of those out the way. We are maybe a little bit of a dog to a Beseiju here. So we'll give him a 5/5 next turn by blinking the Apparition. But we'll leave the other 2 underneath, I think. But we'll give him a 5/5, and then we'll use this to eat the Giada and maybe whatever they play here. Alright, I think we can still attack for 4 with the Elish Norn. This is going to trigger twice. We only really need to trigger it once, though. think I'll still hold the lands. Alright, so we'll target this, target this. Now, if they have another Coco for some flyers, this could get a little dicey. Daniels, you rockin' Doomwike's Pure Modern tomorrow? Maybe. That actually sounds pretty fun. I usually take my Saturdays and Sundays pretty seriously, though. I just hang out with my wife all day. We'll see, though. Alright, well, we mulligan to 5, but Eldritch Evolution and Elvish Norn completely shut down the creature deck. Who would have thought? Masker Girl seems like it could be okay. Held Moonlight's definitely great, because it stops all their big things. If Mind Sensor doesn't do much, Archon doesn't do much, Dinnick doesn't do much. So these 3 are the ones I'm considering. What am I cutting? Scamper, I think, is one of those cards that's like good for game 1 for weird situations, but you can cut. Scoot Swarm, I think, is not going to be that great because they don't have ground creatures, and this is really good at stalling the ground. Hostage Taker's okay. Binding, Norn, Traxa, Skyclave. Fable, all good. Evolution, all good. Gotta get one more out. Let's see, maybe one of the Prowlers? Maybe a Voice? They don't do a ton of stuff on my turn, just Coco. It doesn't block well, so I think that's fine. Okay, so we can use this to fetch whatever, and we can use this to fetch whatever. We'll keep. I'll use this, and I'll go fetch Mountain. And then this can make blue for Omnath. Something like that. The version that plays Elf is honestly a bit scary compared to... Okay, so we can use this to get Island later, I guess, now. I love playing the Tri-lands with things like Sunpetal Grove. It feels good. Another Elf? All the Elves. Alright, alright. Great tune? Yeah. Wow. Okay, so this just means they have Coco, right? So let's go Temple Garden. We'll go Omnath. Green, white, red, blue. And then next turn we can go Fabled Passage, crack it, go get Island, play Mommy, play Charming Prince, do some cool stuff. Hopefully we can fade what they're doing over there. That's a pretty good draw. So now we'll have most of the land types next turn. Any thoughts to Deputy Detention? Anything with an enters the battlefield effect you can probably put in the deck if you want to. This is a copy-paste job from a 5-0, and it looked pretty decent, and all the 1-0 seemed cool for interesting situations. Deputy's just another one for interesting situations, you know? Skyclave Apparition is a huge bummer. I think we're just dead now. We don't really have a Wrath effect. Triple Elf on the play. Pretty tough. I'll probably block if they let me. Alright. On the Elf anyway. Maybe that's worse, though. I'm gonna block. Alright, so we still cannot double spell. So let's just go Skyclave on your Skyclave, make a 4/4. We'll take 5 in the air and hope that they brick for a turn. Maybe we should just go ahead and hit Righteous Valkyrie, though, right? And then we'll just play Sparrows. And now next turn our Leyline Binding will cost 1. Field Kayla's disgusting. Impossible to win unless they whiff completely. Alright, reveal the Urian. Oh, check me out. Easy Mole. I really hate it when you mulligan and a card in your hand doesn't change positions. We have another no green opener, but we're going to keep. I'll just put what's his face back. I think maybe blocking the elf made Massacre Girl not work. Alright, let's go ahead and chain to the rocks just to slow them down. John Rogren is actually 1 mana binding too, though, which is nice. Nice. Another elf. Alright, I don't know if I want to binding this one, but I kind of want to. Alright, let's see what we hit off of the Prowler. If we hit a land, we might sequence in such a way if it enters tap so that we can Omnath next turn, and then we hold binding. But if it's non tap land, maybe we go ahead and binding. Simple Garden, nice. Let's just slow him down. We'll just hit the elf. And then next turn we can play Omnath, and then hopefully the turn after we can get Mommy into play. So we got blue, white, red, green, red. So we have everything for Omnath. That might be bad. Alright, so red, white, blue, green. No untapped land for Mommy next turn yet. Awkward. Valkyrie number 2. So they're going to go to 24, but next turn they should be able to get them up. If I get an untapped land for Elish Norn, that's going to shut these down. I think I'll trade Omnath for one of these. I don't know if they'll double... I guess they want a double block. Alright, we can maybe get there off of Risen Reef, so let's try. Green, blue... One. If we hit a land, I think we actually get it. Because we can play a land from hand. Nice, let's go. Alright, so we'll play Rogren. Alright, and then I think just no attacks is fine, right? Because they don't gain life anymore. They have very few ways to deal with this. Yo, what's up, Joey? That was sick. Yeah, Risen Reef into the land was great. I know the Valkyrie doesn't do anything. This is also only 6 damage, so we can freely attack with the Norn to put him down to 20. Making you want to play Elementals F&M tonight? Well, you got to get to some Blanchwood Prowlers. Might be difficult. Alright, so we can cycle a Triumph. See if we hit anything cool. Evolution, huh? Alright, so we can go get Hostage Taker. We can just go get another Risen Reef. Another Risen Reef might be fucking crazy. Right, we just sack this and go get a... Let's see. We can get a Scamper. No, we side out the Scorcher. We side out the Scoop Mob. Alright, let's sack the Prowler. Yeah, second Reef just seems like... Alright. Alright, well, this is pretty good, huh? We'll take the Fabled Passage, I suppose. We can do that next turn, maybe. Alright, and now we can chain to the rocks 2 things. It always is sad to me that we don't get to do extra stuff when we hit extra land drops. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Well, that's what Mommy does in the Risen Reef deck, chat. That's what it do. Very strong. Decent turn. On the draw here, round number 2. Decent opener. We'll go for maybe Innkeeper on 2. That way we can Reef on 3. Maybe Prowler with an extra trigger on 4. Solid hand. Let's hope that we don't get bulldozed by an elf deck. They recently followed me on Twitter, so I was curious. All right, well, we're going to get bulldozed by an elf deck. Oh, it's a red deck. All right, even worse. Hopefully we'll gain enough life to survive. Chain of the Rocks and such should be helpful. Omnath should be great. Synthesizer. All right, let's hope they miss on lands. Whenever they synthesizer before anything else, it's always to hit a land. If they don't have one. And if they miss the land, sometimes they're just dead in the water. Burning Tree on the top. That's great. They're missing. If they don't have a land, that's even better. Lethal Demolition on the synthesizer. Well, let's hope they miss a land again. We're going to be in a little trouble. Tarkus Command. That's good they missed. We'll just take the 2 from the Swiss Spear, probably. They found a den on the draw stub. Trying to figure out what like the worst case scenario is, but doesn't seem that bad no matter what happens. Maybe next turn a Tarkus Command's pretty bad because we can't trade with tokens. I actually can't cast Omnath next turn currently, and if I can't, then I'll probably go Prowler into Proving Ground tapped, and then on my turn I'll go Omnath, Fable Passage, pass, and then maybe Fable Passage again on their turn to gain life. But maybe I'll go just fetch, play Risen Reef or whatever. I don't know yet. What's up, Tap Your Mama? How you doing? All right, we'll take the 2 damage. All right, so we'll just play Zayatora and Blanchwood, and we'll use it to trade or chump, gain a life. All right, we didn't hit, but we now have a 2/2 that can trade with a Goblin. Next turn we go Omnath, draw, Fabled Passage, gain, and then figure out what to do from there based on what we got. All right, so they're going to attack with everything. If they have a Tarkus Command, let's see if we block here. Let's see how much it is. If we block here, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we go to 4. I think that's okay. And we trade, and then we'll go up to 8. 9 if you count the Innkeeper trigger, and then potentially 13 with the Omnath triggers. All right, here comes Tarkus Command. Take 10 down to 4. Love Risen Reef next turn, to be honest. Yeah, maybe we do that instead of gaining the extra life from the Omnath. All right, so let's go blue, green, white, red. We'll get plains because we have all of our card types. We'll go for Risen Reef, I guess. And if we had Chain to the Rocks, we can do both. Okay. It's gonna attack. Next turn's gonna be great as well. We can Scoot Swarm first. Then play the fetch. Get some landfalls on this. Epicure. Alright, if this is the dash thing, we'll want a Binding something probably before we move the blocks. I might even block with Risen Reef just for max damage protect. Alright, so I think just tagging a token is fine. That way if there's anything that kills stuff, it doesn't really do that much. I'm gonna block. Guess we should have blocked the Bushwhacker itself. Doesn't really matter. Okay, so Scoot Swarm, Fabled Passage. Get another green so we can cast more things. Another Innkeeper. Play Voice. Game should be mostly over. I'll probably go ahead and buy the Yorion as well. I think we can actually attack now too. GG. Jason McGowan, thanks for 6 months. Appreciate the Prime sub, gamer. Thank you. Hope you're doing well today. Appreciate you. All right, chat. Go ahead and give me some sub-brass in chat like Empty did for Jason. Appreciate the subs today from Jason, Taylor, and Joe Lamoose so far. If you got a Prime sub lying around, you want to help a brother out, give me that Bezos bucks, baby. Keep the commercials away and keep Tandy eating good. That way you get to watch Mommymentals. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's just do max demoralization, right? Max demoralization. I mean, they knew I had it, right? Why would we even do anything? Okay, so this matchup, so this is non-token? No, this stops tokens too. So this stops the demolition, so I might want that. Massacre Girl. Archon stops one from double spelling. I actually kind of like that. So these 5 are considerations. Scoot Swarm can come out. Scorcher. I like Hostage Taker. I like all the removal. I don't think we need a Traxa, but I kind of want to keep it. I haven't even cast Fable yet. It's kind of weird. Voice is great here. Innkeeper's good. Prowler's good. We could trim the apparitions. I actually find that eating things out of like mono white or mono red when we're decks like this doesn't really do that much. But any interaction's okay, right? I still like the Hostage Taker. Maybe we cut Evo. Maybe Evo is the card we cut. But I really like Evo into Massacre Girl in a lot of spots, so I think I'll just hold it. And we can't really afford to cut all of our Skyclaves, because then our Evos are worse. But so maybe it is just trim Evo, honestly. We have a minute left. I can really think on this. I really don't know what the best line is. And with a new deck, I think it's important to just do some experimenting. Charming Prince seems fine. My gut says cut Evo, because we just can't... We're just, like, not going to have a board position to leverage to sacrifice. But that just makes Massacre Girl a bit worse. But it'll just be good if we ever draw it. We got some voices to drop early, and we're not going to be dealing ourselves a ton of damage. Okay, we'll keep... I don't really want to play Savai first. I'll play Breeding Pool into Plains, and then maybe Savai on 3 and another voice. This will just be max damage protection. Alright, Omnat's a great draw. The voices should give us a lot of time. Let's see if coming down on turn 2 gives us enough time, though. If they went like Burning Tree, kick your guy or whatever, that would have been pretty bad. Triple Swiftspear is pretty bad, too. You do not block that well against Swiftspear. So we may be chumping next turn to get a slightly bigger creature. Just depends on what they do, I suppose. These are pretty similar because we already have a green source. I guess because we might need another white source, we'll play Savai. Yeah, I don't think we'll need an extra green. All right. Well, if they implement plus another thing, I'll definitely chump block to save 3 life. If they demo, though, they didn't demo. That means they're just going to sack it, probably. Maybe I'd take this hit. This is tough. This is like potentially the most damage prevention by blocking, but a double block lets me guarantee to kill something next turn. All right, they're going face, so 9, 10, 11. We're going to be at 5, 4 against implements. It's tough. All right, so we're probably dead. I mean, this is just a great draw from them, you know? 3 prowess creatures into prowess thing, prowess thing. Put a card on top, too. That's definitely bad news. They don't make them like they used to, man. Creatures these days, disgusting. Swiftspear is kind of old, too, though. But Swiftspear is just extremely powerful. Interesting they didn't pop the implement in end of turn. It leads me to believe that it's probably demolition. Weird. So they're doing it now? Wonder if the top cards like light up the stage or something. I don't know. I didn't think they'd play that though. Guess they're just looking for a way to finish me off. Dead to Tarka's command, dead to shock, dead to a lot of stuff. Maybe Lord Sora. They keep making creatures better and they keep making interaction to complement or whatever. I mean, we just died on our turn 3. I don't know. We just didn't do anything on 1, so we lost. It sucks. Classic Pioneer. Let's keep the Evos in. Let's Archon is maybe just cheeks. I guess it makes things simple. Simplifying the board is important. I'm gonna cut these Hallowed Moonlights. I don't think we're gonna have time. Maybe we cut the Atraxa, but this doesn't feel necessary. Like, whenever Omnath can just win the game by itself, or Elishnorn can win the game by itself, you don't really need Atraxa. Atraxa is like, oh, we're playing against a matchup where Elishnorn doesn't do much. We can sack it for Eldritch Evolution to go get it or whatever. I kind of need to save this Fabled Passage for later, so I'm not going to play it on 1, even though it might not let us Risen Reef. I can't get a Plains with it, so there's no reason to worry about it with Skyclave, you know? Can we get rid of Solitude, just get Swords instead? I might play Modern again. I actually think that Solitude is worse for the format than Swords. I think a free version of that effect is worse than a 1-mana version, as far as, like, making the games worse. Alright, well, they didn't have a play, so our voice is holding down the fort nicely. Untap lands. Alright, we'll just scry 2. I was thinking about... Actually, maybe I should just gain 3 life. Just gonna gain 3 life. We'll fetch red, and then we'll play Risen Reef next turn. Or if we draw something to play Omnath, we might play Omnath instead. I kind of wanted to scry so I could hit a land to play Omnath next turn, but if it enters tapped, it's not that great. Alright, well, no blocks are fine. If all they do is like shock my face or shock my Charming Prince, it just doesn't really matter. We'll go and get Mountain. This will unlock Chain of the Rocks as well. Oh, I guess, yeah, I should have got something else instead of the Mountain. Whoops. Can't play Risen Reef now, because no green-blue on my lands, except for the Breeding Pool. Well, got paid off anyway. I will play max defense with Charming Prince Voice. We'll double block a Swiss Sphere probably. We're not in danger. We're at 16. They can't deploy their stuff. Okay, so they chose not to play anything. Alright, well, we're definitely discarding Skyclave. And I think we're discarding Risen Reef as well. And now if they want to play something on my turn, they can. But now we get to go Omnath, Fetchland, Elshnorn. Green. Blue. We'll go get Island. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. I don't think the removal is bad at all. Alright. So Triumph turns us on. So let's do that. That way we can also turn on Chain of the Rocks if we need it. Well, so Taglo, we're going to be playing current modern with Horizon sets and stuff banned in Doomwake's pre-modern tournament tomorrow. Not pre-modern, pure modern. All right, so we're playing against Rakdos Sack. I think we could be okay here. Girl can dream of post-suit modern. I mean, yeah. Doing pretty good Sartags. Alright, we'll just go ahead and play another Voice. Voice is pretty good against Priest Forgotten Gods, not gonna lie. I'm gonna attack. I don't mind trading Voice for a Priest, and I'll just sack it otherwise. Unani Dazani. Blood Crypts. Alright, here comes Fable. I thought it was gonna be Mayhem Devil. This is fine too. Not sure what to do. We got like Hostage Taker we can go get. We can go get Scoot Swarm. Play our Tibble Garden. I think Omnath. We already have an Omnath, so I kind of just want to play Omnath. I think I'm gonna attack for 4 first. Do you think Blue Eye Control is still pillar for Pioneer? Absolutely. It did really well in the last couple weeks, actually. Excuse me. You got it all wrong. Okay. Cross our fingers. Hope we don't die. This is honestly one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Priest of Forgotten Gods in the normal Rakdos Sack decks. It feels like it should be good, but the deck usually plays a lot of things that are not creatures. And you just don't have enough, like, throwaway garbage minions for Priest that much. But, I mean, it's still a good card. Like, I love it in the Tyvar decks for sure. I'm not even 100% that they're not playing green yet. The basic Swamp and the Hive kind of indicate to me, though, that that's probably the case. Alright, so this is probably going to be a push. I think I'm going to block. If it's like Bone Crusher Giant, that's just fine, right? I have the Omnath. I don't really care about the Priest because we have these two things. I think the block is... It's not free, but it doesn't cost that much since we have the backup Omnath. Alright, so this probably means just straight Rakdos. AM Devil? Okay. So they can sack Treasure. So they'll probably just sack 2 Cauldron Familiars to kill the Omnath, and then we'll just sack a Voice Token. Or not. Wonder if they messed up. Unnecessary, I think, for them to do what they just did, for whatever it's worth. Alright, so 1 to that. 1 to face. Alright, so they can deal 1 more to face. If they drew Deadly Dispute, they can sack this, sack the treasure, kill the elemental before I can make it big enough. No shot. Okay, I thought they did for a second. I was about to be upset. All right, I kind of. What if I just play Mommy? No, let's play Omnath and we'll gain some life. We're actually like getting pretty low on life, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna attack with the elemental token. No reason to attack with the voice because of the man devil. All right, let's hope they just had a bad couple draws. Yeah. Next turn they're gonna be able to do Fable shit, but we can maybe evolution into Hostage Taker and then cast Mayhem Devil, so they can't do anything about it. Yeah, crossing your fingers, start attack. That's definitely what you got to be doing in this spot. So now they can sack Cauldron Familiar Reflection. No way they're activating Castle. That's so sick for me. So I can go Elish Norton, land tapped, gain 8 life. That doesn't seem that bad. So now they're going to, what, Steel Voice, sack it. We might be dead. I feel like they drew Claim the Firstborn. That's so gross. Maybe Moses, but it's not there yet, and I don't really care to talk about it that much as a result. God, we're just getting obliterated here. Elch doesn't make you gain 8. If I have a Omnath in play and I play Elshnorn in a land, I gain 8 life. Oh, no, you're right. Actually, I just get 2 landfall abilities. That's my bad. So I gain 4 and 4 mana. But now we're just dead. That was such a sick card to draw in that spot. Maybe I should have done evolution more quickly. Oh, I just fucked up my lands also. I mean, I guess it's just Omnath to go get, right? And then we just lose it to this. We're just dead. I guess we can go get Hostage Taker. Maybe take... It just doesn't matter, right? We have to take this. And we're just dead on board. Alright. Massacre Girl can clean them up. Archon doesn't do a ton. Hallowed Moonlight can screw Cat Oven. Cards and graveyards can't be targeted. Not a huge deal. I actually quite like the Scamper here. Skyclave's okay. Maybe we get rid of Voice because it's just too powerful when they steal it. Risen Reef? I don't think Risen Reef is as bad when they steal it, but maybe they're like them being able to get a voice token out of this when stealing it is so disgusting. All right, we need to bring in one more. I guess maybe I don't have to side them out. Their own defeat. All right, Witch's Oven. Land would be great at some point, so I can play this Fable. Thoughtseize is fine when my hand is so powerful. We just need a bunch of lands now instead of one land. Great, perfect draw. Cygnus, honestly, we've had a couple of cards that seem like they would be good over the past couple sets with that stuff, and honestly, I just don't see it, man. I don't know. There's just like Hardened Scales as a card just needs a payoff, right? And oh my god, we didn't hit a land. I'm out of here. We can go Jetmire into Breeding Pool. untapped and play turn 2 binding. Seems pretty decent. I don't know, man. It's just like fog or whatever. It's just another thing. I mean, if you just put draw a card on it, it would just be the white version of what you calls it. White version of Veil Summer, you know? So it'd be a good card? Yeah, I don't know if this one is good though. Alright, well, no binding for us, nothing to target. We'll probably just buy Yorion this turn now. Mana base in this deck feels pretty sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly don't really care that much about this card. Like, I want to shock Skyclave it, but then if they kill it, they just get a 3/3. And this actually matters a bit also. I think I'm just going to binding the token. Maybe that's wrong. That gives us another blink target for Yorion later too, which is nice. I kind of want to save Skyclave for a Shield Red. It's like 100% to die, you know? But now, I guess we can just Yorion now. Gain some tempo on him. Whatever that means. I feel like if we just play Mother Machines, then we lose, right? Maybe attacking with Yorion is wrong because they're likely to maybe. I guess they could like kill Apparition and then attack with a 4/4. Guess we'll just take it. It's fine. All right, we'll just discard lands here. I'll just play Mummy. We'll hold back to block. If they have like a removal spell or two for our creatures, you know, we're still not quite dead. I guess that they can go kill spell, copy attack for 8. Trespasser doesn't have an ability. Alright, so now we can go Omnath, draw 2. Getting to untap with these means that they just don't have anything, and then we're just Gucci. Alright, so any land lets us get mana, so we'll gain life and mana. And then we'll go white for this, play Skyclave. We'll target Reflection and the Graveyard Trespasser. Alright, they gave up. Interesting. I don't really think any of our cards do much here, so I think I'm just gonna hit submit. Keep this hand, put back a Sun Petal. So when the ETB is doubled, it's 1 elemental still, but it gets power toughness equal to the combined mana values. We learned that earlier. We had a 2-drop and a 3-drop, and they got a 5/5 off of it. Because it doesn't double the triggers, so they don't get 2 of them, but... Pitch a Chain to the Rocks. I feel like my threats are just more important. Voice here might have been wrong since it doesn't allow for curving into Fable. Okay, they're probably going to take Fable. We got a Mommy for later, a Voice for now. Next turn we can buy Yorian. Trespasser is honestly not that huge of a deal. No creatures even in the graveyard. Croxa later is going to be pretty scary, but right now it's fine. Alright. Unfortunately, this is going to transform, so we might chump block just to buy some life. Maybe we just take the 4, though. It does make me feel relatively protected during my turn, so let's just take it this time. We can always chump a Shield Rat or whatever if we need to. Go blank? Okay. Just get Mommy in play. Hopefully they don't have a kill spell for it. Burning both passages is probably incorrect, but I really don't want to take damage right now. I will hold back because if they do have a kill spell for Elish Norn, I want to be able to block the Glutton now. If I knew I was drawing an untapped land, we would have kept the Yorion and the Elish Norn, but without anything to block, or sorry, without anything to do that the blink matters, I think discarding it to guarantee the Elish Norn there is not bad. Alright, well. Attack here seems bad, they can just double block. No punishment for no play from them is a bummer. Go blank was a little annoying. Main phase in the castle, okay. Taking a bunch of damage. Cycle Triumph. Chain to the Rocks, perfect. We'll target, I guess, Harvester and the Shaman. But maybe we just target Glutton and the Shaman and discard the land. Now we can smash for 6. This is going to make their castle a lot worse. Trade here is okay. That's what I was kind of expecting. Maybe because of that, I actually should have targeted this with the Chain to the Rocks too. That way they had one less card in the graveyard for the Croxa. They did not discard 2 for the Croxa, but the Croxa doesn't have an ability right now. That's nice. Alright, so they drew the removal spell for my guy. And they can Croxa me. So now we're in trouble. Probably worst case scenario, kill Elishnorn and fill the graveyard up. Tough. Keep this one. We'll go red into this for this. And then maybe this for... Alright, well, let's see what they take. They might just, like, Thoughtseize both Elishnorns. They could also take the Prowler. They take the Prowler. We'll go ahead and still fetch red. That way we can play any of our 2-drops should we draw them. I guess we can't play Voice, but... This also just gives us a mountain for Chain, which is nice. Croxa, we'll just pitch Evolution. Now I think I'll probably buy a Yorion unless I draw a cool 3-drop or 2-drop. Another Thoughtseize, alright. Ripping us apart. You tear me apart, Lisa! They took the Skyclave, okay. Alright, well, 3 discard spells. Another land, so one more and we can play the Elish. No Shieldred is pretty good news. Go blank. Alright, we'll keep one Elish Norn. I don't use my graveyard at all, so it's not even really that big a deal. We'll be doing some Grinning Ignis thing in Pioneer. Well, you can certainly do that. I don't recommend it necessarily, but certainly something you can do. Plant. Nice. Alright, so now here, I guess we get a second white source, so we can play Skyclave later. Hopefully they don't have a removal spell, but they didn't have a creature, so it's probably a removal spell. Could be a land. Could be another discard effect, like another Duress. Harvester with no abilities. Nice. And it is a land, so now they can castle. We'll Skyclave the Harvester, I guess, but we might want to wait. Might want to double up on stuff. Alright, that's a great draw. Blue, green. Alright, so we get 2 triggers from this. One of the lands, if it's untapped land, we can put it into our hand and play it. Okay. Okay, draw 2 is fine. Alright, easy attack for 4, since it has Vigilance. Alright, they'll go to 15. They'll take 1 for the castle. Jumping. Save some life. If they ever can kill the Elish Norn, things are looking pretty bad. Go blank my 2 Skyclaves, unfortunate. No cards in hand, though. Croxa doesn't have an ETB, but they can bring back a 6/6 now if they want. They're choosing to draw a card instead. Brutal go blank. Croxa is just a 6/6. Very happy with this. That means they don't have a kill spell for Elish this turn. No ETBs matter. Alright, something good. Something good. Anything. No reason to hold the land. No reason to attack. I might bounce the Croxa. They're at 6. They're not even attacking. That's so good for me. God damn it, dude. This is so infuriating. Just give me any spell. Any spell is incredible. Like, in this situation. Any spell is incredible. You know? Chain of the Rocks does 2. Any elemental does 2 Risen Reef triggers. Incredible. Incredible that we're losing, man. Okay, so what is this now? Yeah, I can't even get a cycle land. Brutal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just 4 or 5 lands in a row, dude? Are you fucking kidding me, man? Like, how am I supposed to play the game? You know? Like, I just don't understand. They hit me with like 4 discard spells, and then I drew 7 lands in a row after that, dude. It's so stupid. We're dead. We have to, like, bounce the Croxa, chump the Shieldred. We still take lethal, I think, from Den or Hive plus Blood Tithe. Just so frustrating. Feels like it happens abnormally frequently when playing your index. All right. New game, new life. So pathway on blue leads me to believe that this is Phoenix. I feel like they would have leaned red on any other thing. Creativity or whatever. Okay, I was wrong. I'm gonna try for Risen Reef. I don't want to like run into Spell Pierce or whatever. Make disappear is fine, but if this hits land, we can maybe Mommy next turn. Okay. This is probably gonna die, but I kind of wanted to try to ramp into Elishnorn quickly. Oh, we're not dead. That's good. Big score is like 100% this turn. Wonder if there's anything I can do about it. We're gonna do this pre-combat. I don't want to walk into Sokenzan or whatever. If this is big score plus counterspell, that's a bummer. Okay. Alright, well, I guess that means we're not getting creativity this turn, though. Alright, well, creativity for 2 is bad. Man, Magic's so fun. I'm bringing some Mystical Disputes. Skyclave has some targets for on Fable. How Moonlight's pretty good against them. Charming Prince, whatever. Hotch's Taker can probably go. Archon doesn't do a lot. Our spot removal is not that great, but Skyclave specifically hitting stuff is alright. I'll key, but I'm pretty disappointed with this hand, to be honest. I'll probably scry 2 with this thing. Alright, we're gonna play Voice instead. That way it's gonna punish any counter spells they have. It also is a good thing to sack the evolution. Give me the loot! Gonna be in San Diego next week or commentating from home? We're doing commentary from home digital. I think I'm fine offering a trade here, since the token's still pretty good. Alright. Red, white, blue, green. Didn't really want to sack the treasure yet. If we drew on Fable, it would have been feels bad, but I still think it's correct to shock. So I discard Spire Bluff Spell Pierce, makes sense. Fire Prophecy is okay. Second Fire Prophecy means I can attack. Alright, we'll take it. Alright, Mystical Dispute's not bad here. This could save us, actually. Alright, so we'll go for attack for 3. We'll play another voice and just chill. Now, we could get hammered by a Pierce of theirs or something, though. I'll definitely block if they attack. They don't attack. Okay. Swing of both these. If they want to trade with anything, I'm fine. Shark Typhoon for what? 4? That's fine. Alright, let's play Omnath. Alright, we'll gain some life. We'll go get Forests. Play Evo. I think I'm gonna steal their reflection. Oh, did I cut my fucking hostage taker? That sucks. Yeah, unfortunate. Alright, we'll just Skyclave the reflection then. And then we can play Charming Prince. Exile the Omnath, then it comes back and we draw another card. We're actually safe from the combo right now. If they go for it and they attack, they die. Okay, so let's go Risen Reef. Land is good. Alright, so now we get 2 triggers if this resolves. I was thinking they might have a Mystical Dispute and didn't burn it on the last one. Any land gives us 5 from Omnath, lets us Scampering Scorcher. Oh, I should have put it in hand. I don't think I played a land yet. That was a mistake. It's fine. We can still do the same thing. Alright, so if we hit a white source, we want to put it in hand. No, and then we can play it, and then we can deal them 4, and then we can Binding for 1. Oh, we don't have black. Risen Reef, huh? Some card. Oh, I should have put that in my hand and then held up the Mystical Dispute since this can't. So yeah, we don't have the swamp, so this is only a 1. We're just gonna swing with everything though, and they're in a bad spot no matter what they did. All right, here for game number 3, the last game of the league. We're gonna keep this opener. The attraction might be a little difficult to cast later, but we can cast it. start with Sparrows, and then we can maybe dispute something on 3. Down to go ahead and play the Blanchwood. I don't think... Mommy, sorry. What's up, Optimus Tom? How's it going, buddy? Mommy, sorry. Alright, it did. Give me a land. Thank you. I have been relatively impressed by the Prowler. I have to imagine that when it misses, it's uber frustrating. Maybe character is just better, but having that trigger is kind of cool. We'll go ahead and Risen Reef, see if it resolves. Could get countered, it's fine. Impulse is okay. Next turn we go Shock, Voice, hold up Dispute, or maybe Shock, Skyclave, target their Fable, and then hold up Dispute, something like that. Mommymentals is a great name, yeah. It's been a really fun league. We had some frustrating games, but overall, Dex feels good. I don't know if it's better than the Bring to Light stuff, because Bring to Light's just so powerful. I feel like this deck should just be playing Bring to Light, you know? We could probably cut any 4 cards and play 4 Bring to Light, and it's probably better. Look at it! Look at the card! What's up, Luis? Welcome. Wait, should I Voice or should I Skyclave? I kind of want a Skyclave. So make it a little harder for them to find combo pieces, I guess. If they attack, I guess blocking is not that good. Running Volley on the Risen Reef. Alright. Mystical Dispute actually seems pretty bad in this matchup the more I play it. But it's just like something to do, you know? So they can still do the combo now, post-combat. Alright, we gotta expect Shark Typhoon. Binding is a great draw. So it costs 2 right now. Start with Voice and see if they go for any sort of counter. Big score. Okay. Maybe we should have shocked first. I'm going to attack with the Skyclave now. They can make a 2/2 shark, but it sacks all their treasures. And then we could just Binding in response if we really wanted to. So now we have Dispute or Binding, but we don't have both. I think it's been performing so far. Been trying to get Omnath to work for me for so long. I think that there's a better Omnath Bring to Light deck. This is more of a Risen Reef deck, honestly. There's a lot going on that's like kind of rough, you know? Alright, let's see what they target. Probably Goblin Shaman and 2 treasures. And then we can go Binding plus Dispute. Let's hope that it's the hard combo. Alright, well, if they have a counterspell, they have a counterspell. Nothing we can do. Sucks. If we had 1 more mana, maybe I shouldn't have played the Innkeeper because it took us some mana down. Alright, not the best finish, but overall the deck felt pretty cool. I don't think that this is a better build than the Bring to Light version that people popularized at the Pro Tour. The Risen Reef stuff seems fun, but it seems less competitive than the other build. Voice Resurgence wasn't very enticing. Risen Reef was obviously incredible, but it not working with things like Skyclave Apparition kind of stank. Eldritch Evolution, I felt like we just didn't have enough... It might sound weird. It didn't feel like we had enough targets, and it also didn't feel like we had enough fodder to sacrifice. And then the 80 card deck, like playing things like Leyline Binding and Fable the Mirror Breaker and Skyclave Apparition, like, these are all cards that we don't really want. They don't really work with Evo that well. Because Skyclave can't target tokens, right? And so I don't know if it's just maybe we should be playing Reflector Mage or something similar. But Skyclave Apparitions did not seem like it worked that well in the deck. Double White was actively difficult on a couple of occasions. So that change might be reasonable. But mostly I just think we should take a stronger look at the Bring to Light deck, because it made me just want to play Bring to Light. I think Elish Norn is incredible, but I think it probably goes better in a deck that has Llanowar Elves, just because you can accelerate into it more easily. So I would like to see more builds doing that type of thing, especially with Evo. We lost a couple of games against aggro opponents because we just didn't put up any resistance in the first few turns. And obviously, Chain to the Rocks helps with that, as does Leyline Binding to an extent, but not enough in a lot of occasions. Voice of Resurgence, not the greatest blocker. I was really missing some sort of like sweeper effect for those matchups. Our sideboard also, because of our Eldritch Evolution package, did not feel that great either. Dinnik, that's like an anti-Greasefang card, but it didn't come in against anyone else. Hallowed Moonlight, we never drew. 80 card decks, it's hard to have like a 2-of sideboard card, right? Like it's just hard to draw. We probably punted a few times, so I wouldn't say that 2-3 is like the definitive type of record that you can expect with this deck, but I do think that it does need some work. I did think Blanchwood Prowler was okay, but I don't know that it's better than Sylvan Caryatid. Sylvan Caryatid just seems like ramping into Omnath on 3 just seems so easy. It feels like it just unlocks all your stuff better. So I think we just want to explore more Bring to Light stuff that's not Elementals based. That's all. Okay, that's going to be it for the Mommymentals deck. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm Tandy. I stream most weekdays 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, playing mostly Pioneer if that's your jam, and I'll see you soon.